point out for the record that Cliff Terrell retired as president of this chamber 4 years before Gail came in. So I think he's sitting back there wondering if everybody's going to walk out putting the two together. I also want to point out for the record and say something to Gail, some advice that I gave Cliff. He may not remember it, but it was on the occasion of his retirement. It was in that Economic Development Council meeting that he attended, and I pointed out that there were some advantages to retirement, and most of them are known to the folks that know people who are retired, but there is one particular advantage that descends upon retired chamber executives. And that is, Gail, the next time somebody cuts you off at a red light or an intersection, you can lean on your horn without Now, I have a very nice proclamation here that says a lot of stuff that's been said earlier. I'm going to just make a point here, go back in my memories. When I was 18 years old, I reported to the Naval Air Technical Training Center in Memphis, Tennessee for training as a young Navy serviceman. First day of the class, there were about 70 of us. An old crusty Marine Chief Warrant Officer came out, and he immediately got my attention because he had a chest that had medals that started about here and ended around his navel. And on his neck, he had a blue ribbon. And you know what that means. He was a Medal of Honor winner from World War II. And he gave us a fire and brimstone and go-get-it lecture that turned everybody on. But we were basically at peace. This was 1959. This was the Cold War. We weren't shooting at anybody. And then at the end, he said, now, you may not have an opportunity to defend your country. I hope you don't. But the question is always in your mind, at some point in time in your Navy career, whether you be officer or enlisted, you will be called upon to take a watch. And what is the duty of the person that has the watch in the Navy and Marines? It's simple. Simple. Always. Try and leave your ship or your duty station in better condition than you found it when you assumed the watch. And Gail, you're leaving this ship in much better condition than you found it. And finally, I will add the closing paragraph of the proclamation and simply say that whereas I'm not only proud of Gail's professional accomplishments and her dedicated years of service to the benefit of our county, I'm also honored to call her my friend. Thank you, Gail. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. May I please ask Mayor Gorecki of the City of Rosenberg to join me up here. Mayor Gorecki has not only been involved in the chamber as an elected official over the years, how many years is that? 12 years. But he has been a member of the chamber through his business as well.
Hi, Gail. It's odd that Gail and I decided to step down pretty close to one another. And I think after all the work we've done over the years, we well deserve a slower pace. I brought a beautiful proclamation, but I would rather just talk. Gail is, I would say, a firecracker, a real firecracker. She just makes things happen out of it spontaneously. But I got to tell you a story about her. She leaned on Doris and I quite often, especially when she needed money. It's as if this happened maybe a month ago, but it's happened 2 years or 3 years, who knows. But Gail, of course, is so famous for doing the leadership with all of our younger citizens. She had a group in Austin, probably 25 to 30, and they were having a great time. And one morning, after having breakfast together, she got the bill and she said, "Oh my God, I forgot to ask Doris and Joe if they would sponsor this breakfast." So we get this call at the office early in the morning And I'm not really sure what was going on because there was a lot of noise in the background. This is a restaurant. I mean, she's panicking. She wants to know, Joe, are you and Doris going to help us? I thought for a moment she might be on 6th Street, but I backed out of that one. But no, you know, it's Gail and I are a lot alike in some ways. I'm the kind of guy, just like her as a lady, that sometimes we mix up more malt than we can drink. Honestly, you ever as a child, just that malt looked so good, you wanted to put a larger one and then you wondered what to do with it? But no, it's good to be that way because at least we have goals and we have a vision. And I am so proud to have worked with Gail, and I'm so proud that she has come to our city. And I remember when you were being interviewed because John Dorman, our son-in-law, was, I think, a newly elected president of the board when you came aboard. So y'all kind of learned together, and that was great. But anyway, tonight is Gail's night. Let me let her have the evening, and thank y'all for all.
Thank you, Mayor. Now I'd like to introduce Bill Dostal, City Commissioner for the City of Richmond. Mr. Dostal is also a chamber member on behalf of his business, which is Dostal Designs. Come up here and say a few words about Gail. Thank you.
Gail, the Mayor Morse sends his regrets that he couldn't be here. He wishes you all the best in your retirement. And there's been a lot of things said, but I do want to end this, take this last statement. Whereas the most defining moment of Gail Parker's career as President and CEO was the name change and focus of the Chamber in 2009 from the Rosenberg-Richmond Area Chamber of Commerce to the Central Fort Bend Chamber of Commerce. Now therefore I, Hilmer G. Moore, Mayor of the City of Richmond, Texas, do hereby proclaim May 12, 2011 as Gail Parker Day. In recognition of Gail Parker for her leadership, dedicated service, and many contributions to this community, in testimony whereof I sign my name, Hilmer G. Moore, Mayor of the City of Richmond. But I got to tell you something. Barry brought something to my mind just a minute ago when he talked about Tom the Leper. Tom was known as the Hammer. You are the female hammer of this community. You know how to gently hammer down and get everybody in line. Congratulations for what you've done. On behalf of the City of Richmond, Dostal's Jewelry, the Dostal family, we thank you for the uplift you've given to this community, and may this community be your uplift in your retirement. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Well, if Gail is the Mrs. Hammer, what does that make Randy? Maybe Arm & Hammer? I don't know. You're still there somewhere. Well, last but certainly not least, I would like to introduce Mayor Tommy Kirkendall of the City of Fulshire. And as most of you know, and Bill just alluded to, Fulshire, Gail, and the Chamber created history when the Rosenberg-Richmond Area Chamber of Commerce reinvented itself as a Central Fort Bend Chamber Alliance and included Fulshire as a stakeholder city in 2009. I mean, what a vision. And Gail, I mean, amazing what you're thinking and how you're thinking ahead. And that's certainly a true sign of a leader. And we want to keep you involved with the Chamber. Tommy, please come on up.
Before I present the proclamation, Cheryl Stalinsky, our Economic Development Director, who